Welcome once again to Let's Start Cooking. I'm Wayne, and if you like chocolate, we got a good one for you today. Because we're not only going to make chocolate muffins, we're going to make chocolate chip muffins. So the first thing that we're going to want to start with is we're going to make all our dry ingredients together, and then we're going to move on. So what we want to do first is we're going to take our flour, and again, all the ingredients are going to be in the description. We're going to take our flour, we're going to take our sugar, our salt, and our baking soda. And we're just going to put them all in a bowl, and we're just going to quickly mix these up just to make sure that we have no lumps. Just give these a quick whisk up. I'm going to set that to the side because what we want to do is we're going to take a bowl now, and we're going to take our cocoa powder. We're just going to add that to a bowl, and we're going to take a half a cup of hot water. Now, we made this to almost to a boil, and that's what you want to do. You want this as hot as you can get it, and we're just going to put it right in our bowl. And we want to whisk this till it's nice and smooth. We don't want to have any of these lumps that you see in it now. So we're just going to whisk this up, get this nice and smooth. And again, that's why we wanted it nice and hot. And this is an easy recipe. It doesn't take a whole lot of ingredients. You can make this pretty quick. And since it does happen so quickly, while you're doing this, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Because again, once we get this going, it's not going to take any time at all. Once we get this smooth, like we have it now, we're going to add our oil. And this is where it's going to look a little messy because the oil is going to separate. It's not going to want to mix, and that's why our next step, after we add our oil, as you can see, I'll mix up a little bit to show you. It doesn't really want to mix together. It's almost like a salad dressing until you add the emulsifier, which brings everything together. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to add 2 eggs, and we're going to add to that 1 cup of sour cream. And what this is going to do is this is going to make our muffins nice and moist. Not those really dry muffins that you get in the store. And with the muffins that we make, we know where everything came from. We know everything's natural. We know where everything came from. Now that we have this, now we can slowly mix this, and you're going to see that this will start to come together. And once we get this start to come together, it'll start to change colors on us. And we're going to want to make sure that we mix all this up. And because we added the eggs and we added the sour cream, that's what brings everything together. So you're going to mix this up. We're going to make sure we scrape down the sides. And we're going to get this all nice and smooth. Just quick scrape down the sides, just to make sure we don't have any dry powder or sour cream stuck to the edge, because we're going to mix this up even more, but we just want to make sure. Now once you get it to this point, again, like I said, this is an easy recipe. Once we get it to this point, now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our dry ingredients right to the bowl. There's no worrying about how we're going to mix it, what we're going to do. And now what we're going to do is we're going to slowly fold this in. And we're just going to mix this all together now. Once we get this up to where we have most of it mixed in, we're not going to go nuts. We just want to get so we don't have dry powder or flour flying everywhere. What we're going to do now, this next step, you can add 1 to 2 cups, it's your preference, of chocolate chips. You can put as many as you want, up to 2 cups. If you put many more than that, you're just going to end up with a really, really wet interior of your muffin. It's not going to, your chocolate chips are going to want to melt too much. Once we get it to about that point, now we're going to add our chocolate chips. And again, we're just adding everything right in. And this is where you want to make sure that you want to get everything nice and mixed up. And since this is going to be a little thick, we're not going to be able to use like a pastry bag or something like that to fill our muffin tins. So we're just going to use a cup. Once we get it all nice and mixed up, our last ingredient we're going to add is we're going to add a little bit of vanilla. And we're going to mix that in. And again, we're not going nuts. That's why we don't need to use a mixer for this. We can do all this by hand. It doesn't take a whole lot. And we're just using muffin tins. Now, obviously, if you don't have muffin tins, you can use cupcake pans. I mean, obviously, you're going to end up with smaller muffins. Now that we have this mixed up, we're just going to take this, and when you fill your muffin tins, you want to go about 2/3 of the way up with them. Because this will make about a dozen muffins. So all we want to do is we're just going to take this, just like that, and we're just going to fill these to about 2/3 of the way up the paper. And we're going to fill them about like that, and we're just going to get them all done. So we'll get these all filled up, and then we'll go to our next step. Once we get our pans filled about 2/3 of the way up, what we're going to do is we're going to put these in the oven for about 20 minutes. Now, being that there is chocolate chips in these, you're going to have to trust yourself and your oven, because if you stick a toothpick in these, they're not going to come out clean because it's going to melt the chocolate in. So that's why I say 20 minutes. You'll notice because the tops will start to crack, and I would let it go for like another minute. Now, we put chocolate chips in these, but you could very easily put peanut butter chips in this, or chocolate and peanut butter. You can do what you want with these, but we're making double chocolate right now. So we're going to get these in the oven about 20 minutes at 375 degrees. And while we're waiting for these in the oven, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and like our channel and share with your friends. So we'll get this in the oven, and we'll be back in 20 minutes. We've had our muffins in the oven now for 20 minutes. We took them out and we left them cool in the pan to the point where we could flip them out of the pan, and we left them cool off on the dish now. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna cut one of these right in half. And again, when these first come out, they are gonna be hot, and because they have chocolate chips in them, you gotta be careful because they will be a little sticky and they're gonna be runny. So you just wanna let these set up, and as you can see, they're nice, they're moist. Really chocolate. They're really moist, they're not dry, and you can really taste that chocolate, and you get the chocolate chips. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like and share it with your friends, and I will see you on Sunday.